Hi, this is ESPN's Dave Lamont, and you're listening to the Sports Objective Podcast, the unofficial podcast of the Pirates.
Welcome into the Sports Objective. Very special night tonight. We'll bring in first our great co-host, my buddy Kyle from LaGrange Barber. How you doing, man?
What's going on, Dave? Yeah, it's good to be here. We're sitting here getting closer and closer to Christmas and to the Birmingham Bowl, and we got the executive director of the Birmingham Bowl on with us tonight.
That's right. Glad to bring in executive director of the TicketSmarter Birmingham Bowl, and that will be Mark Meadows. How are you?
I'm great. How about you guys?
Great. We're excited. 1 week from tonight, I'll be there in Birmingham and probably have my bags hopefully in the hotel by now. I don't know if I'm going to be able to make that. We'll talk about that in a second. I'm hoping that I can make the pep rally. First of all, I'm very excited about being on the bowl and being with you and with you guys. And I want to thank you guys for the hospitality and how great you've been treating our university, which is expected.
Well, thank you very much. Like I said, glad to have you guys back for the third time, and very familiar with you guys and love working with you.
Mark, what is the selection process like when you were trying to decide who you want from the American? I know I guess the ties technically with the SEC, we ended up playing Coastal from the Sun Belt, but how was the selection process work? Choosing a team from the American, and how did you guys end up with Coastal with I believe the ties to the Birmingham Bowl or the SEC is the first time.
Well, back in the old days of bowl, the way the bowls operated, it was everybody was kind of courting each other. The bowls were courting the teams, and the teams were courting the bowls. That's all been out the window for a while. We with ESPN events, we actually own and operate 17 bowls, and of those 17 bowl games, we have relationships with almost every conference, if not every conference, in college football. So we have a lot of opportunities to talk with commissioners and ADs and those type things and get the best matchup possible for Birmingham. It's a negotiation. It's there's a lot of people involved, and we wound up with what I think is a great game. I think it's going to be a fun, hopefully offensive show for both teams. And if we can 5:45 kickoff on ESPN, we'd love to put up a lot of points and get a big audience.
So nowadays, let me word this right. Is TV primary? Is that the number one objective? Is to get good ratings versus? I mean, you want to sell tickets, you want to have a crowd at the bowl, but having an attractive matchup, East Carolina, Coastal Carolina, has regional interest. It's two teams that have not played, even though we're very close to each other. And you're right, two very high-powered offenses. Is TV ratings? Does that take precedence nowadays with ESPN owning these bowls over turnout?
I wouldn't say that, and I'm not heavily involved in the decision-making process. I'm consulted about the talks that are going on, but I'm not involved in the decision-making process. But I don't think TV plays a big role. It certainly has a role in the process. In that I know that the two teams probably have a bigger say. The two conferences and the teams have a bigger say than TV does.
I got you.
And Mark, I know that the teams are going to be arriving coming up on, is that Thursday?
The Coastal will come in on the 22nd. You guys coming in on the 23rd.
Okay, so Thursday for Coastal, Friday for us. Wow, that's kind of scary to think it's just a few days away, but
yeah, it's close.
And can you talk about the activities that you have planned for both teams?
Yeah, so, we had planned on both teams arriving on the 23rd. Coastal made a decision to come in a day early. So they'll have, a day of practice on the 23rd where East Carolina will be flying in. that day. So that evening, the evening of the 23rd, we're taking both teams to the Start On Comedy Club, which is and kind of an annual event we have for the players and the coaches, and have a little entertainment, a little pasta, a meal buffet out there. And what the story we always tell about that is in the very first year you guys were involved in it. We tried to tell all the restaurants that were hosting us or hosting the players that these guys don't eat like normal people. They eat, a lot. And so the very first year, as the kids were coming out, and I call them kids, the young men were coming out of the buffet, we actually counted 19 meatballs on one guy's plate. And we think he still holds the record from 2006. I've never seen 19 meatballs on anybody's plate since then.
That was not me.
but they eat a lot, and they enjoy that evening. And then we've got throughout the week, we've got Eplex Gaming Center, which is here in Birmingham. Our staff went out and toured it a couple months ago. It is a fantastic area. I know the young men on both teams will enjoy going there. We have 100 gaming stations and about 20 virtual reality stations. So so that's going to be a crazy day. That'll be a lot of fun. We have our annual bowling challenge that we do where we take both teams out. The center lane is reserved for 2 coaches and 4 players from each team, and we have a bowl off, and we have a little competition, a little friendly competition going on there. And then of course the players, will get their gift suites. At some point, I think it's on the 24th or 25th. They'll go through and pick out the gifts, their bowl gifts for this year's game.
That is always one of my favorite things to look up is bowl swag. So you guys are doing a gift suite. So the players will have different things they can choose from.
Yeah, that kind of, that most of the bowl games, I would say, 70% are probably doing the bowl suites now, the gift suites now. And what happened was, and I'll go back to our early years, when iPads were really popular. So, somebody comes to our game and we want to give the most popular gift. So we gave everybody an iPad. Well, then the next year, those players go to another bowl game and iPad was still popular. So they gave them another iPad. So, what we found out was a lot of redundancy. We were picking stuff that other bowls were picking. So the players were kind of getting double gift. So we found it was better just to go to the gift suite, give the players a certain number of points. They get 6 points, so they can pick one gift at 6, or they can pick 6 gifts at 1 point, or any combination in between. And so they can kind of pick out what they want, what they need. And so it's really worked out a lot better that way.
Yeah, I like that idea. I'd read several bowls in the past where you'd see the swag and then they'd have gift suite listed. And I guess now that's become more commonplace, and it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, and on top of the gift suite, we're giving the players I call it a swamp cap, whatever you call it, a branded bowl, branded cap, and then we're doing an ESPN branded cooler backpack. So those I think they'll enjoy those as well. Okay. On top of the gift suite.
Mark, last week I watched your press conference, and what struck out to me is, let's talk about the economic impact. Did I hear that right? And maybe forgive me, I'm real tired. I've worked all day like what you have and the guys have. Was that really over 160 million since the time you guys started back in 2006?
Yes, it's a little over 10 million a year. Some years are bigger than others. So it's 166 million. Those are figures that are provided by the Birmingham Convention and Visitors Bureau. Those aren't our figures. We're very proud of that. The city of Birmingham is a supporter of our game, and we're glad that we're able to bring people in. The time of year when hotel occupancy is generally low, the last couple of weeks of December, and then all of our restaurants at the Uptown area and out by the Galleria where East Carolina is staying. So we're excited about being able to generate some economic impact there. And like I say, even if somebody drives in and only buys a tank of gas and heads back out, that's still economic impact for Birmingham.
Mark, you mentioned how the bowl's now and it's going to be the 16th bowl. It was played for years at Legion Field. Now it's played at the new stadium there in downtown Birmingham, UAB, the stadium that UAB plays in. I'm forgive me for not knowing the name of the stadium off the top of my head, but talk about the new stadium and then just the how the environment has changed probably around the bowl game because of the stadium in the downtown area.
Yeah, so Protective Stadium opened last October, and we had fortunately had the first sellout as it configured for a football game. We last year's bowl game we had 41,871 people at the game. Of course, having Auburn win the game was certainly helpful from a local ticket sales impact. But the stadium is extremely nice. It's got a very nice club seating area. It's got chair back seating on the opposite side, and then basically all of the sideline seats in the lower level are the bench backs, so you don't have somebody's knees in your back. Now, if you're in the end zone and upper deck, those are bench seating. But it's a great stadium. Got a huge video board overlooking the city skyline. So it's a great venue, and I'm excited about seeing it after dark. We were 11 a.m. last year, so it was 70 degrees and sunny. It's not going to be 70 this year, but the cold front will be out of here by then. It'll just be normal winter weather.
Yeah, 5:45 kickoff, luckily 6:45 Eastern time for the people that are staying home to watch the bowl.
Sorry, 5:45 Central. Yeah, sorry.
No, you're good.
And by the way, and Kyle and Bubba and I love country music, and I understand you guys have the football record, but Garth Brooks has the overall record, right?
Garth was able to put 10,000 chairs on the field, which we didn't have the luxury of doing that. So yeah, he caught us by about 10,000. But yeah, and I was there too. That was a great experience.
Yeah, seeing Garth live is always good live. You mentioned the activities for the teams. What activities are going to be there for the bowl at the bowl game and surrounding the bowl game for the fans coming in for anybody watching? I
was telling someone earlier today that I remember the very first game that the East Carolina fans were really sending us emails and saying, "Hey, make sure Birmingham knows we're coming and don't run out of beer," because evidently the year before there'd been an issue with whatever city you guys were in that ran out of beer. And we tried to get that word out, but some of the bars didn't get it. But so in year two, we started what we call the Uptown Fan. Well, it wasn't Uptown then; it was a Fan Fest. It's now the Bud Light Fan Fest at Uptown. It is directly across the street from the stadium. And so on Monday, for those arriving, early, from 1 until 6 p.m., we will be, right there at like I say, right across the street from the stadium in the Uptown area. We'll have live music on the stage, both country music acts. You were talking country music. We got two country music acts, one from going from 1 until 5, and at 5 o'clock, Coastal Carolina will have their pep rally, and then at 5:30, East Carolina will have their pep rally, and then both pep rallies will kind of end. At 6 o'clock, we'll have a little fireworks demonstration. So that'll be fun. And then the next day, basically, we do the same thing again, except we don't have the pep rally. But we'll have the live music on stage all day. And on both days, we've got corporate displays. We've got food and beverage out there, interactive games. It's just a great place for fans of both teams and locals to come out and kind of interact with each other. If you don't want to bring your tent and set up behind your car wherever you're parking, this is a great place to tailgate pregame. And so we urge everybody to come out there both days.
Yeah, and from more of a Chamber of Commerce standpoint, not directly tied to the bowl, what are some good restaurants in the area you would recommend?
Oh, look, Birmingham is known as a food town. I would hesitate to name one without hurting someone's feelings, but in the Uptown area, we've got Texas de Brazil right there, and then we've got Southern Kitchen. We've got Cantina, which is a Mexican type food. We've got a burger place, Mugshots is there. So all that's right there in the Uptown area, right where the Fan Fest is going to be. Top Golf is about a block away on the other side of the stadium. And then, like I say, Birmingham, I would just urge anybody coming to town, just kind of go online and look up Birmingham restaurants. But we've got some world-class restaurants here in Birmingham. I'm not sure what's open, what's not open during the holidays, but would urge your fans to go online and look them up. But yeah, we've got a lot of great restaurants here.
Dave, you got anything else?
Go ahead. I got a few more things real quick. I know we're running a little long here. This is from one of our friends and listeners and viewers, Todd. He says, I was trying to pre-order parking passes, but the only lots available for pre-sale are an ADA lot and a parking garage, which I refuse to do if there were real open air lots that will be available the day of the game. I'd really like to have a lot of passes in hand before we go if possible. And that's Todd Vibrant.
Well, let me look and see. I thought there were. Hang on, let me go to parking.
There's three different. I know I knew we were going to have that question. There's three options off the top of my head when I was looking at this morning, preparing for the interview. There's the lot. There was the lot for the garage. There was two other lots I saw.
Yeah, it says, again, we're working with the BJCC on this, but according to the notes that are on our webpage, there are two lots that you can pre-purchase, which is the BJCC lots and a Boutwell garage, which is a block or so from the stadium. There is ADA, but I don't think those lots are strictly ADA. I've never heard that before, if that's the case.
So the one lot you mentioned is an open air lot. The BJ, whatever you just said.
The Boutwell garage and then the BJCC lots.
And BJCC that's open air, right?
Some are garages. I'm not sure what all they have. Okay. As far as, but I'm looking on here right now, and there are parking passes available, but maybe not in an open lot. There's an orange lot, red garage, and a lot of those will be open on game day that aren't available for pre-purchase.
Yeah, and I don't think for the listener that have that question, if you don't have a parking pass in hand, there'll be plenty. Not making any shocking statements here. The game's not going to sell out, so you'll be able to find parking.
Yeah, and like I say, there's this is downtown Birmingham, and it's a Tuesday after Christmas, so a lot of the lots, a lot of the parking lots will be open because a lot of businesses will, not be operational that day, or people will be working from home or whatever. So I don't feel like there's going to be a parking issue. And then we also, the best option may be for that listener is we operate a shuttle service from the Galleria Mall. And we actually have a large parking area, 200 or 300 cars can get in there right outside of Dave & Buster's, which is at the Galleria. And we operate a shuttle from there on the 26th and 27th, which would drop you off, a block from the Fan Fest. So
now, do they mind if you tailgate at that lot if you take the shuttle?
I don't know that they'll allow tailgating in there. It would be doubtful.
Okay.
But there'll be lots downtown that you can tailgate in.
Right, and go to the Fan Fest anyway. I mean, that's what it's there for.
Yeah.
Can you? How long is the tailgates lots open? This is Todd had another question. Is it 4 hours or 6 hours in advance? Is it 4 hours? I take it.
The parking lots.
Yeah, the parking will open 4 hours prior to the game.
Okay, and we had another question as far as.
And let me say that's for the game. There may be some that are open prior to that are just general public parking that aren't part of our parking plan. So,
okay.
Yeah.
As far as tickets, I'm trying to run through because we're running out of time here. This is a question we had from our listener. We've heard some of the numbers as far as the tickets that have been sold through the schools, but what can you tell us as far as what's been sold directly from the bowls? Do you have numbers for the bowls?
I don't have them right in front of me, but we start selling local. I guess what I would say local tickets. We sell those starting usually in May or June, and it's our typical corporate sponsors that buy them, give them to their employees or give them to their vendors. We are right on track with what we typically do year in, year out. We have a great group of supporters in Birmingham that support the game. before they ever know who the teams are coming in. But I think most of the tickets are being sold through the two schools' athletic departments, and I won't know any of those numbers until later on this week.
All right, Mark, I appreciate your time. I know you're very busy. I looked up with the clock. We're at 20 minutes, so I don't want to keep any longer. Is there anything before we let you go that you'd like to tell fans for East Carolina?
Well, again, if you guys are coming, urge you to come on in and enjoy your time in Birmingham. Get your tickets, buy them through the school there. And we still do have tickets available online here if you'd rather buy through us. But I would say support your school, buy your tickets through your athletic department, and then come on down. So that way you'll be sitting with like-minded people.
There you go.
Mark, thank you so much for your time tonight. It's been fun. I can't wait a week away. I'll be there in Birmingham. Thank you so much, and I look forward to seeing you there in about a week.
Yeah, and the first quarter will be over by this time in a week.
Wow.
That's right.
Hard to believe. Have a good one. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays to you.
Thanks. Same to you.
All right. Good night.
Good night.
Bye-bye. All right. Mark Meadows there. Appreciate his time. I know that, time is getting away from us fast, isn't it, Kyle? It'll be Christmas before you know it. And very excited to have him on. And I know it's going to be a lot of fun between now and that time, right?
Yeah, obviously Christmas is coming, like as you said. And most people, I'm assuming, are not going to head to the bowl game until probably the 26th. Some folks may head out on Christmas Day. I remember quite a few people last year. Annapolis is a lot closer. I remember quite a few people last year headed out to Annapolis on Christmas Day after opening presents Christmas morning. Again, I would urge people, particularly if you're listening to us in the western part of the state out towards Charlotte, it's only about a 6-hour drive to Birmingham from out Bubba's way towards Charlotte, Kannapolis area. So you can make a day trip of it. If you're undecided and you live out in the western part of the state, it's a day trip, man. 6 hours. That's less than driving from Greenville to Gatlinburg. Everybody's made that trip. So if you live out towards the Charlotte area, I would encourage you to make a day trip of it, or go down the night of the 26th maybe. And, don't overthink it. Like I said, it's a 6-hour drive from the Charlotte area to Birmingham. And I know it's quite a bit more if you live in the eastern part of the state. You got to have more planning. But got a lot of Pirates out in the western part of North Carolina, down in the Atlanta area. Yep. We're our Atlanta Pirates. So come on, buy some tickets. Get your ass over to Birmingham. I mean, it ain't no time from Atlanta to Birmingham.
No doubt. In fact, by the way, our good friend Justin Butts' family owns a trucking company. They're going to be pulling out on Thursday. And they're going to be posting updates, so you'll keep your eyes on social media, and hopefully Justin, appreciate him. And
he didn't mention the country acts that we're going to play. Is it local people, or do we know?
Yeah, it's more local people, and including they even have hey Kyle, they have a bluegrass band that's supposed to be really good that learns the fight songs for both East Carolina in this case and Coastal Carolina. They'll be playing there at the pep rally, so that's going to be on both days.
Well, if you're a bluegrass band from Alabama and you see folks from North Carolina coming to town, you might be a little intimidated.
We shall see, my friend. We shall see. It's going to be fun. They even have there's a lot of things to do in Birmingham. It's actually a very nice city, and I'm glad that they have the downtown field now. That's going to be great. The stadium, a protected field, that's going to be so much better. And
I think moving it out of Legion Field into the new stadium downtown, it gives it a whole new feel. Sounds like there's a lot of nice restaurants. You mentioned there's a shuttle from the Galleria where you can park there at Dave and Buster's. I mean, so it sounds like it's much more organized and fan friendly than it was in years past when it was at Legion Field. We had it the very first year, and Justin put out there, ask about the Papa John's bowl with no pizza. Which he was joking, but that was tough, and they've come a long ways. And I remember I told you guys a story. They literally had a man selling liquor on a old card table near the concession stand. I'll never forget that. And also for TV purposes, I know why they had to do it, but they put both fan bases side by side on one side of the stadium, which is, I heard that did not go well. No, they were, every time I was walking by, the USF fans were heckling me and all of Pirate Nation. I didn't like that at all. Yeah, South Florida fans at the time were ass clowns. I think maybe their fan base has been humbled since then quite a bit. But I'm looking forward to it, man. Coastal Carolina is a game I think that needs to be played. ECU and Coastal. We played them in baseball in the regionals. Be nice to beat them. We took them out in the regionals. It'd be nice to beat them in the bowl game. To me, it's I kind of wonder why we don't play them regular season in multiple sports. But they got a good basketball program too.
Yes.
So I'm glad the game's being played. And I kind of some of our fans have been negative towards it, and I kind of had the theory, Dave, that a lot of the older fans, the players, because these players today, they only really know Coastal as being a good football program. They've been very relevant over the last 5 years, and our players' football memories probably only go back about 10 years.
Right.
So you think about that, and really, how old are you when you really start paying attention to college football? So, I mean, I think our players will be excited. I talked to our friend Brendan Shapiro, who he's a younger guy, graduated from ECU last year, and he's super fired up to play Coastal. So, I think the players may be more into this matchup than some of the fans.
I like the matchup, and you stole my thunder. I was going to mention that the fact we're playing, I'm hoping that we can have, this will be great to have at least a home and home with Coastal Carolina. I think that would be fantastic with football and, like you said, basketball. And we wondered why baseball for years. We've talked about that since the inception of the show, and that's none of our business. That's Coach Godwin. And I know that sometimes one side can do it and the other side, sometimes it just comes down to scheduling. They can't make it happen.
You know what? I'd like to see if you can't do a midweek series in baseball. I'd like to see a weekend series, or how about a neutral site? What about meet them down in Fayetteville? They got a minor league park down there. Let's play them in Fayetteville.
Hey, I'm all for it. Whatever we can do to get them on the schedule, I think is great. And with the fans are, I know we're over 1,000 tickets sold. So we'll see how many. What would you guys say? My number that I'm hoping for is, at least at this point, I know it's a conservative number, more realistic. You think between the bowl and the school, what we've sold, around 3,000?
I would hope between 3,000 and 5,000. I think anything less than that would be embarrassing. And really, it's sad to say, but it's the day and age we're in. 5,000 used to be a low water mark for a bowl for East Carolina, but I think this day and age, if we're able to get to that many, I have no doubt in my mind that a lot of people probably bought their tickets through the bowl, just because the impatience, man. You just got your tickets released today if you order them through the Pirate Club, and you can go to the bowl and buy cheaper tickets and get them instantly to the bowl website. And I'm not encouraging people to go to the bowl website. I'm encouraging people to buy them from ECU. I'm just stating a fact. You can go to the bowl website and buy tickets for $30 and get them right now, print it out, and be done with it. So I would imagine quite a few people, probably particularly, as I mentioned, people in the Atlanta area, Charlotte area, have probably bought through the Birmingham Bowl directly.
Yeah, and also I want to mention the fact that behind me, where you see that scoreboard, the video board rather, those end zone seats on either side are the $30 seats. So it's not I don't think, I've never been there, but my gut feeling looking at the picture that I put up here that's behind me, I feel like that there's not a bad seat. Do you think, Kyle? I mean, just looking at it.
Watching a game from an end zone is a little different. It gives you a different view. Some people don't like it. I don't care for it. For different reasons than other people. I gotta have that scoreboard where I can see it. But if you don't mind watching from an end zone, it's definitely a cheap option. And stadium only holds 41,000, so no, they're and it was built recently, so you would think they would have built it, with modern thinking. So I wouldn't think there'd be a bad seat in the whole stadium. Only 41,000 seat capacity, so no. I mean, I don't see how there could be a bad seat in the house.
And by the way, our good friend Craig is the man. He says estimate from the ECU ticket office is 2,000 from all sale venues today on PRL.
From all sale venues, so that means through the school and
through.
I don't see how they would have access to how many tickets we bought for the Birmingham Bowl, because how the hell would they know? I mean, are they going by address? I mean, how would you know if it's an East Carolina fan buying it through the Birmingham Bowl? So if it's 2,000 through the school, I don't know. If we only have 2,000 fans down there altogether, that's disappointing to me.
Very disappointing. In fact, the end of last week, I ordered my baseball tickets, and I asked our friend Coleman Spain, the head of ticket operations. As of Friday last week, we'd only sold over 1,000. So I'm thinking, I don't see, no offense, but to our fan base, but I don't see our 1,000 more in the last few days. Maybe I'm wrong, but I mean, I hope that's right. But there's a guesstimate from other venues. He said it's 1,200 now
1,200 through the school and a guesstimate for. I don't see how they can guess that. I mean, to me,
Yeah.
it would be a complete guess. I mean, what are you surveying addresses? The tickets are coming to Greenville. The tickets are coming to Charlotte. I mean, I don't see how you can make that estimate through the Birmingham Bowl website unless they're just taking in a percentage. Unless they ask the Birmingham Bowl, how many tickets have you sold total that's not corporate, and they're just taking a guessed percentage going to East Carolina fans.
Correct.
I would expect I would hope we'll have over 2,000. If it's only 2,000, look, next year when we go to the Myrtle Beach Bowl, because that's the only place they'll take us, don't complain. Of course, I'd have rather been there this year anyway because I could have gone.
Right.
But it would have been like to be. How about Marshall? They took out UConn today to get 9 wins.
I got that one right.
Yeah, me too. I
got the SMU one right.
Yeah, my bowl pick'em's kind of got off to a bad start, but I don't see me winning the grand prize, but it is what it is.
That's right. Mine was I picked Cincinnati. I thought Cincinnati would beat Louisville. That one was and the other one that I'm disappointed. I think we talked about on Saturday on our live show at Porky's Backyard Barbecue. That Troy, I knew that was going to be a nail biter, but
what kills you, Dave, what kills you, Dave, is crap like that BYU game. I took BYU to beat SMU. The spread was 1.5. They won by 1. So I lost that pick. So that's the kind of crap that kills you.
So I lost that one too. Okay. Yep. I hadn't thought about I've been thinking about straight up, but the point spreads is what they're going by. So half a point, the difference between winning and losing that one. But that was I got that one, the pick right, but not the line. So, but that's the way sports goes, right? And hopefully the most important game on next Tuesday night. Just so odd to say Tuesday night for a football game.
Flashback to some old Conference USA days when we had some Tuesday night games back in the day.
That's true. Tuesdays and the Fridays. Yeah, that's true. But just hard to wrap my head around that part. But hey, I'm happy we're in a bowl. I'm happy for. By the way, we'll try to get you on Wednesday. Coach Houston's going to speak to the press, the media, after practice, and that'll be Wednesday afternoon. So we'll try to have that for you as soon as we can on all our social media platforms. So keep that in mind. We have our toy drive that we did on Saturday. I'm taking those tomorrow to Children's Hospital, Maynard's Children's Hospital, like we talked about. By the way, folks, next year we're going to, I don't think they'll mind us joining their cause, the Hugs for Harrison.
Yeah, Hugs from Harrison.
Hugs from Harrison, yeah.
Yeah, that's all those toys go to the Maynard's Children's Hospital. It's a great cause, and they had boxes. All the toys have been taken up at this point, but they had boxes all throughout Eastern North Carolina. Right. So glad to have Porky's join the calls next holiday season. In
fact, we had about 20 or so toys. So for one day toy drive was good. And then we have the fact, I want to remind everybody, let me let everybody know real quick, Kyle, tomorrow is the last day of the toy drive at Children's Hospital. You can take those new unwrapped toys, and right there at Children's Hospital at the traffic circle, they have the great Children's Hospital staff, and they'll take those toys. So if you're kind of undecided or you haven't done so and you're local in the Greenville area, Eastern North Carolina, then go to Children's Hospital. Rhonda James and the staff do a fantastic job. I want to give them a plug for that. Kyle, as far as the things to do, one of the things I would love to do, I love zoos, but we won't have enough time. I know at Birmingham, if you get down there, I know they have the Birmingham Zoo as one of the things I wanted to do. But again, we'll have to go back to Birmingham another time. Not enough hours in the day for all the stuff they want to do. And mostly it's going to be football stuff. But I know Top Golf is another thing. Dave and Buster's. I think the one thing that I notice about this bowl being downtown is there's more things to do since it's really close to UAB.
Yeah, obviously, much better location. You got the Galleria shopping area. Obviously, a lot of good restaurants, as he mentioned. He was hesitant to name some, but he did. That Mug Shots, I've heard. Is that a chain? He mentioned a burger place called Mug Shots. I've heard of that. I wonder if it's local to Birmingham and just well known, or if it's a chain.
I'm not sure off the top of my head. By the way, if you're the website is TicketSmarter BirminghamBowl.com, and they have a visitor section. It's very good. They did a nice job on I think the website, they've done a nice job with that pep rally is going to be great. 5:30 on Monday afternoon. If you're there, you can get a chance to Mike Houston and the Pirates. That'll be our time. 5 to 5:30 is Coastal Carolina's time for their pep rally, and then our pep rally is going to be 5:30 to 6. And then on game day, they're going to have, I think it's 1 to 5, Kyle. They won't, after us, they have fireworks at 6 o'clock Central Time, by the way, on Monday night. But they're going to do, they've got a whole big day on Tuesday. So if you're looking for a tailgate thing or something to do, they've got it all day long, or at least I think it's starting at 1 in the afternoon next Tuesday. If you get to the bowl, it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it sounds like to me that tailgating is really not something that they're I'm sure there'll be spots to tailgate, but what they want you to do is go park and come to the fan zone, and there'll be plenty of food, drink, beverages for sale there, and things to do, and that's what they really want you to do. And of course, if you don't want to do that, figure out how to tailgate. But I would take advantage of that. I mean, it's something different than your standard go to a damn game and sit there and tailgate. And I know people enjoy that, but try something different.
Yeah, and in fact, that Fans Fest, I forgot what he actually called it, Bud Light, that festival there is right near the stadium. So it's right next to the stadium. So in other words, you can be having a great time, and then you're right there at the venue, right there at the stadium, where you don't have to like travel blocks, several city blocks is like right there. And I like that because those of us that are not from Birmingham, not that we couldn't find something, but it's nice. I guess the convenience of that alone is a big drawing card for sure. What about Kyle? One of the things we haven't talked about because we've been so busy with the bowl. We can talk a little bit tonight, and we'll have more information obviously in the next couple of days. But what about the signing period on Wednesday?
Yeah, be glad to get that over with. I don't know. I've been keeping up with it. We've lost some commits here. I think NIL's hurting us quite a bit. We got the transfer from UNC verbal. Hopefully he'll sign. I know we got the kid that we're recruiting hard, and we're recruiting I believe he's from Georgia. Somebody help me out here. And we're recruiting his teammate also. He had verbal to, or maybe I'm getting my kids mixed up, but we had a damn kid that verbal to Toledo that we're trying to flip, that IGO predicts us to flip. So it'd be nice to flip somebody for a change instead of having them flip on us.
Yeah, and that's one of the things we're going to have to work on is, we talked about, here's your opportunity, Kyle. I'm going to pitch it to you right now. I know that until we get his commitment from maybe NIL money or whatever we can do, but what about Mr. Beast? Don't you think?
Yeah, I'll keep at it, Mr. Beast. Somebody get this to Mr. Beast. He's in Greenville. I know he's the richest man on YouTube, and he's in Greenville. And I know he recently partnered with the university, and he's going to be doing work with the business school, the School of Entrepreneurship, etc. But it would be nice to have Mr. Beast contribute to NIL. We could have the Beast from the East, ECU student athletes with Mr. Beast branding. He could use them in videos, etc. In my opinion, Mr. Beast has an opportunity here to promote himself through NIL by he is such a brand that if you have Mr. Beast student athletes, he could with his support, if he had a significant commitment to NIL, he could help East Carolina when that playoff expands to 24 to 12 teams, and you're going to have one school in from the so-called what's now known as the Group of Five in every year. If we could get Mr. Beast to back us through NIL, he could help East Carolina make the playoffs, and that's a realistic goal starting in 2024. But it's going to take NIL money to do that. And I'd love to see Mr. Beast be involved in that, and let's be the Beast from the East, baby.
I love that. In fact, that's that says it all right there. Beast from the East, Mr. Beast, East Carolina. I love that. And you can have T-shirts, all kinds of merchandise. And it starts with us. Are
you kidding me? If Mr. Beast on the NIL deal with East Carolina, every damn East Carolina fan would have Mr. Beast, Beast from the East. I mean, that he'd make a ton of money himself off the damn merchandise.
Exactly. That's a great branding right there. In fact, I can see, you think about all the great players that probably would go to East Carolina, but right now with the climate we're in with NIL, you look at Avery Jones. Avery Jones went to Illinois. Why? NIL. And guess what? I think it was, Kyle, $25,000 is what he got.
Well, that's good money. I I can't say I blame them. I hate this climate we're in.
Right.
I've been to Champaign, Illinois, that area. I will say this: Greenville's a much nicer area, and that's all I'll say. But get ready to be cold, and I hope you can speak Chinese.
All right, there you go, Mandarin. But
Yeah.
yeah, I literally when I saw that, but I'm not like, and let me be very careful to say I'm not like throwing shade. What I'm saying is, even a quote unquote Power 5 school like Illinois, 25 grand is a lot for us. But if you think about it, that's attainable. We have donors right now that if we have and we have Pirates, I'm sorry, the Team Boneyard, we have that where you can a collective where a whole bunch of us can give money. But 25 grand is not like 2 million or these big amounts that you hear that.
Well, 25 grand for one student athlete, that's one thing. But when you're talking about 25 grand for 80 student athletes,
Oh yeah,
that's a different thing. I think SMU's doing that, something similar. The money's got to come from somewhere. I don't know. Obviously, Pirates themselves, we all need to step up, and the collective needs to be a little bit more. I don't know. I don't want to. I guess I'll take money from anybody, but something needs to happen desperately for East Carolina and NIL. We need something to happen positive.
And if we had, I hate to use that term, but going back to Mr. Beast really quick, because I think your idea is brilliant. By the way, see, Kyle and I get along. It's Christmas time. Next week we'll not get along at all.
That's right.
Just kidding. But Mr. Beast, if you think about it, Mr. Beast, and you have that. I hate to use the term, but a game changer. You want to talk about, like we talk about Vince McMahon, we talk about other people. We've got a lot of people that have money. They're just not giving to East Carolina. So we've got to find. And I'm not.
Yeah. Vince could use some positive press right now. Some NIL deals from Vince wouldn't be bad press for him. He could use any of the positive press he can get right now.
When you think about it, we have a lot of great athletes right now, Kyle. I've heard Duke. There's different there are different teams, and what they're doing is they're giving these athletes, like a NIL deal for them to come to NXT, and different things like to train after they graduate as potential wrestlers. And there's no guarantee that they're going to ever make it, right? But I mean, just think about that. It's smart on their part to have potential.
Oh, you're talking about the deal with the WWE and NXT going after student athletes. Well, I'll tell you what happened there, Dave. And it's a little off topic, but we're well past the territory days in wrestling, and the indies. It's too spots. It's too hot spot centric. It's too many flips. So the indie pool kind of is drying up. So they got to develop their own athletes, and that's kind of what's happening with WWE and them trying to sign student athletes to deals after they graduate and send them down to NXT. For anybody who's interested in what we're talking about here, it is a very interesting topic, actually.
If anybody has questions, comments, you can put that on Facebook or YouTube and comments, and we'll definitely answer those here with the time we have remaining tonight. Don't forget, by the way, Wednesday night's a big game, Kyle, as we have our very own Pirates, and they're hosting High Point, and the Pirates coming off that big victory in basketball on Saturday in Greenville, South Carolina, as they beat the Gamecocks of South Carolina. A big game for us, and we have tickets are only $8, folks, for Wednesday night's game. I'll be there. I want you all to be there, and let's pack out Williams Arena, Minges Coliseum, and you get the chance to sit the lower bowl. The students are not there, and Kyle, it's so much fun. I know that you've talked about before about being in those seats on the upper bowl.
Yeah, lower bowl's a lot more comfortable. That's for damn sure. You're gonna have leg room. $8 tickets. High Point coming to town.
Good team.
They were 8-2 the last time I checked.
They lost
pick to win the Big South. So it'll be a tall task. I mean, you got positive momentum because you beat South Carolina. You need to continue it. Find a way to beat High Point, and then you take positive momentum into the conference opener against Temple, which I believe tickets are also $8 for that.
That's correct.
So be nice to have a good crowd Wednesday night in Minges. Bubba mentioned maybe some of the church groups, youth groups, etc. will take advantage of this, kids being out of school and get some groups from churches, et cetera, other youth groups in Minges on Wednesday night. But yeah, come on out and see if we can beat High Point, get the 9-4 on the season, and who knows what could happen in conference play. We've never won. It's hard to believe we never won 7 games in conference play, but if we can get 9 wins, if we can win 7 in conference, that would give us a winning season going into the tournament. And
Yep.
so I think it's attainable. I think the league is top heavy, but overall, I don't think the league has incredible depth this year. So I think we can win some games. Obviously, very top heavy with Houston,
Memphis and Cincinnati.
yeah, exactly. But after that, I think we can play with a lot of these teams, and it wouldn't be something for Coach Schwartz to get a win season in his first year. I really think, I'll say this. I still disagree with the decision to fire Joe Dooley, but it appears Coach Schwartz was a good hire after all. And I heard somebody say one time, the biggest thing, even if you make a decision to fire a coach that the fans don't agree with, is to get the hire right. If you think back when Ruffin was fired, have we got Brady Hoke in here instead of Scotty Montgomery? Jeff Comfer might have never been ran out of town.
Right.
We might not have been paying him all this money all this time.
And by the way, hey, Kyle, I got good news for you. You and I, you remember this very well. The second episode of our show, you and I did the show at IHOP, and you and I talked about it. It was March of 2018. And guess what? March of 2023 will be the last payment we ever have to pay Jeffrey Comfer.
Well, I've long said that we should have quit paying him and made him sue us for the money, but whatever. But nonetheless, back to the original point, Coach Schwartz is doing a good job, and like I said, I think we're past the point for those of us who were mad about the Dooley fire. I think we can all say Coach Schwartz is doing a good job, and he's also a very likable guy.
Yeah, no, I mean, we made that point very clear, including myself. I was more boisterous about it. I was upset about it, the way that it was handled. And I said from the get-go that I like the hire. I said I like Coach Schwartz a lot. He's been very personable. The very first practice we were there, and he did a great job teaching the guys. He was very energetic. His recruiting has been fantastic. So I have no issues with coaching. I have issues with the commitment. That's a whole nother show, as they say. But the commitment to the basketball program is what I'm upset about. It has nothing to do with Coach Schwartz. He and his staff have done a great job. So let's make that very clear.
And let's say this: if he posts to win a season in his first year, maybe that'll be reason for there to be a bigger commitment towards basketball. I think it's kind of what comes first, the chicken or the eggs. Do you win and then get the commitment, or do you get the commitment and then win? I think at East Carolina, where we are, we're going to have to see some success, and then maybe the financial commitment will come from the university as best it can. Money. We put a lot into baseball. We put more into baseball than most people do, and that's not going to change. And that's one thing that hinders us in basketball.
Yeah, and we don't want to take away from something that's a top 15 program.
Exactly.
And we think the world of Coach Godwin. So it's a matter of like season tickets and things like that, a different venue, different events we can do to help the program.
Well, post to win a season your first year, if we could do that, and that's still a long ways to be seen, that would probably help with season tickets next year. Also, beating teams like South Carolina, non-conference.
Yeah.
You gotta get that RPI up, or whatever the hell they call it these days. And
net, and
you want to be tier 1, tier 2. That'll help your non-conference scheduling.
Yeah,
which will help season tickets.
No doubt about it. It will definitely help it. And
Bubba's back. Bubba, you gonna chime in?
Yeah, we're very happy to have Bubba Rosenbaum from China Grove with us tonight. And by the way, our good buddy Richard Allsbrook, while we're waiting for Bubba to come in, he says, "Do you have an itinerary for Pirate events on bowl game day?" We did. We put that up there.
Just go back and watch the show.
It's 1 to 5 on Tuesday of game day. They're going to basically have the same thing they do with Monday. They won't have the pep rally, and they won't have.
I think maybe he's asking. To be clear, are you asking about events for the bowl or events that East Carolina is doing in terms of a tailgate, things that the university itself may be doing?
Oh, okay.
And Robert, we do not have any details. Bubba may, anything that the Pirate Club's doing, etc. But if you miss earlier in the show, we did put an itinerary up on the screen of events on game day and leading up to game day that the Bowl's doing, and just go back and watch the show after we're done, and that'll be up there. But if you're looking for events specifically done by the university through the Pirate Club, etc., I don't have that information. Dave doesn't. Bubba might. I'm not sure if we're going to get Bubba on the air here. Hopefully we will.
Yeah, I do know. As far as game day specifically, I'll have to look those up. I do know on Monday evening after the pep rally, after the fireworks, there is a rooftop bar and in the East Carolina tailgate, and I know there's an East Carolina sponsored tailgate on game day. But as far as the time and all of the logistics, I'd have to look that up.
And Dave, here's a chance he wants to know if Sports Objective's doing anything. And yes, we are.
Yes, we are. Monday night. I know Bubba and myself will be there live, and we're going to be at Overtime Sports Bar and Grill. I know Richard, yourself, Pirate Owl. There's a lot of folks that are going to be in Atlanta, and they're going to be driving in early Tuesday morning. So we don't have anything as far as Tuesday, Richard, unfortunately, for like you guys, but we definitely can hang out with you. But we're having Overtime Sports Bar and Grill. John Hall and his partner, they've agreed to host us. So those of you that are there Monday night from 8 to about 9:30 or so, then they're going to be hosting us, and we'll have a meetup and obviously a chance to. We're working on guests this week for next Monday night at 8 o'clock, and myself and Bubba will be there live.
Is that 8 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Central, Dave?
That's a good point. It'll be 8. Yeah, 8. It'll be 8 Central, 9 Eastern. Thank you, Kyle. 8 Central, 9 Eastern.
So if you're in the Birmingham area, be there at 8 o'clock local time. What in the world is that? Bubba, mute yourself. Wow.
I thought at first it was your dog, Nikki.
No. What was the name of that bar again, Dave?
Overtime. Justin, I hope you can make it. He said, love to join y'all live. We'd love to have Justin on.
Overtime Sports Bar and Grill. And do you have that? You have an address?
I can get it for you. We have, we're working on a graphic. Bubba's been working really hard on that today, that we're going to put on our social media. I don't have, I'll have to look it up. I don't know the exact address. I'll have to look that up.
Well, just Google Overtime Sports Bar and Grill in Birmingham, Alabama, and be there live 8 o'clock local time, 8 to 9:30. Dave and Bubba will be there live. I'll be there virtually, hopefully, and come out and have a few drinks, some wings, etc., and interact with the guys from Sports Objective. At least two of them. Me and Matt won't be there, but we'll be there in spirit.
Yeah, it's a 100 Frankfurt Circle Suite, and that's there in Birmingham. And Overtime Grill and Bar.com. Overtime Grill and Bar.com is their website. In fact, we'll have our event up there. They're going to put that up for us very soon. As soon as we get the graphic to them, we're all working hard, so we're trying to do that. But anyway. That's going to be a lot of fun again next Monday night, and that'll be from 9 Eastern, 8 Central.
And is it true that you're going to have Bo Jackson there, a local Alabama celebrity from Auburn? Bo Jackson is going to be there signing autographs for everybody that comes out. So,
well, the place I know holds 100 people, so we did that on purpose so that it wouldn't be such a big venue. And the deal is they close at 10 Central Time, 11 our time. And hey, if there's enough Pirate fans and they're drinking Pirate beverages, they will stay open for us later. So we'd like to have, it won't be the first time that a bunch of Pirates have closed a bar, right, Kyle? Closing time?
Yeah, absolutely. So come on out and support us, support the Sports Objective. Tell your friends, tell your family. 8 o'clock local time, Monday night, 26th, at what's the name of the place again?
Overtime is Overtime Grill and Bar, and that's the Overtime Grill and Bar.com. In fact, Justin said he's going to try to get John and the crew to join us. That would be fantastic, Justin. In fact, we would love to have as many people as we can there. And Monday night, what else are you going to be doing? Well, I know a lot to do in Birmingham, but we would love to have you for that 60 to 90 minutes. So we're going to be there, and we're going to have a lot of fun. We'll be telling jokes and stories, and I know Kyle is always fun. So we're going to miss you. By the way, I wanted to say this live on air. We're going to miss you a lot, Kyle, and we want you to get better. So next year you'll be with us, I'm sure.
Yeah, I won't. Unfortunately, I won't be able to be at the bowl game Tuesday, the 27th. I have chemo that day, so I won't be at the bowl game, unfortunately. But it is what it is. Got more important things, obviously. Health comes first, and I wish I could be there, but I can't. And but I will be rooting the Pirates on from Greenville.
Justin says he's going to close the bar. No worries. That's my man, Justin. He's he's in our Hall of Fame. He's one of our VIPs for the Sports Objective. We appreciate it. He's going to have, look at this, Kyle. How about this? He's going to have 8 to 10 with him. Well, Justin, spread the word. You're like, he's one of our favorites. And
hey, look, nothing better if it holds 100. Nothing better than full capacity or near capacity. That'd be great. Even if we get up to a half house, get 50 people in there, I'm quite sure they'd be quite pleased to be selling beer and wings, etc., to as many Pirates as possible. The sports objective.
No doubt about it. It's going to be great. I can't wait to the bowl atmosphere. I'm just curious about, like we talked about, the numbers, not to repeat ourselves, but just I'm just anxious right now. It's going to be a long week. It's good for the Pirates as they're getting in practice, and we're going to have that information again for you on Wednesday. Coach Mike Houston's going to talk to the press right after lunch. They have a practice on Wednesday morning, and I know that early, if you're just joining and tuning in, we had Mark Meadows, executive director. On Thursday is when Coastal Carolina gets in. On Friday is when East Carolina will get in. The team will get in Friday. So they're going to have a few days, and they've got a lot of activities. If you missed out, then go back to the beginning of our show to see the interview, and you'll find out all the stuff they're doing.
Chanticleers get there a day early. Is that because they got to get their mullet styled before the game?
Oh, here we go. Some trash talking. That's always good for right before bowl, right?
Well, they're known for their mullets. I mean, that's that's kind of something that Coastal Carolina synonymous with is the mullet. And there's Bubba again, just popping in and saying nothing. So
hello. Yeah, he had a few. He was not using the toilet, he said. So a while ago, it sounded something like that. But
I don't know what that sounded like. He might have been torturing small animals. I don't know what the hell it was.
I hope God knows he was in a gym, just in a gym. He said,
"Okay, you're in a gym. All right, well, gym equipment, I guess."
I don't know, but we're gonna have. I can promise you one thing, no doubt about it. We're gonna have a lot of fun on Monday. We're gonna have a lot of fun on Tuesday. And then, Kyle, we're not going to be back until I think we're leaving. Our crowd is leaving at noon on Wednesday, which puts us home about 9 or 10. By the time I get back to my house, it's going to be every bit of 10:30 before I even get back to Williamston that night.
Well, hopefully you'll be coming back with the Pirate victory. That'll make the drive a lot better. Make it a lot longer if we lose, I'm sure. So hopefully you'll be coming back a happy Pirate with a win over the Chandeliers.
There you go. Justin said, thank you guys. A little nervous as we're having to take a second truck down to Birmingham. And my question is, why are you having to take a second truck, Justin? Normally you just have
extra equipment because they're going to be there extra days.
Oh, I guess, and more. Yeah, and they have their clothes and the equipment, and I guess
practice gear, because normally you don't have to take practice gear down. You're going to have to take practice gear down, etc.
And also, don't they? And they also take down. Help me, Kyle, but don't they take my memory off the top of my head? They take their away jerseys and home, right?
I have no idea. I would imagine they just take the
jerseys.
I wouldn't think they take away and home. I'm sure they're going to take maybe multiples of what they're going to wear. That'll be interesting to see. Who are we, the home team? I would assume so.
I am not. That's a good question. I didn't think about that to ask Mark. We had other questions.
Yeah, that is a good question. Who's the home team? Are we going to be in our purple or black jerseys, or are we going to be in road whites?
What would you vote on right now?
Well, I wouldn't have a vote if we're the road team. If we're the road team, I would prefer. I would probably do white jerseys, purple pants, and maybe black helmets with a purple face mask.
That would be cool.
And if we're the home team, even though the last time we played in them, we played like crap. I love the modern retro jersey.
Yes,
I like that look against Houston. We didn't play in it well, so we did not play well wearing that against Houston. So we're going to do it, let's go all the way with the modern retro and do the Memphis look again with the white helmets. So either that or the black unis, either one.
By the way, okay, he's helping me out. That was band equipment. That's why they're having to take the second truck. This is their third bowl they've done, and we've never had to take a second truck before. And he tells us, by the way, we are home. We are the home team.
Okay. Do you have any insight on what jerseys we're wearing, Justin? If we're going to do purple, black, be curious to find out.
Yeah, the Houston game is the only game that we played wore the throwback jersey. That's correct.
No, it's not. We played the Memphis game in the throwback jersey.
The only one. What's up, Bubba?
We played two. We played Memphis and Houston.
Oh, okay.
No, I said we only wore the throwback jerseys that game. And the Memphis game, we wore the entire combination.
Correct. And that's what I said. So if we're going to do it, let's go with the full thing and wear the white helmets with the purple script like we did against Memphis.
Sounds good. Hey, Bubba, do you have any insight on about signing day coming up on Wednesday?
He's gone.
We lost him again. We lost him again. I was going to ask him about that, but anyway, it's going to be great.
Yeah, if you want insight on signing day, go to hoistthecolors.net.
Yeah,
that's your best place to go. Go support Igloo's website, and he always has great recruiting information up there.
No doubt about it. Do you have anything before we go?
No, just everybody. I'm sure we'll do a show again before Christmas.
Yeah,
I plead the 5th. He's going to plead the 5th. Okay. Well, he knows.
Not going to tell us. He knows. You know. Come on.
Yeah, well, he probably shouldn't. They want to do the big reveal on the Twitter, but
Kyle,
I'm gonna put money on black. Is what I'm gonna put. I'm betting on black.
Oh man, that would be cool. So Justin, I'll buy you a beer. How about that? Can you do that? Or 2 or 5?
Well, I'm sure. It'll be interesting to see when we reveal that. I would think we would reveal it prior to Christmas, but we'll see. No, but if we don't do a show, are we doing a show again before Christmas Eve?
Yes, I think our Christmas show, Bubba said, was, I believe off the top of my head, I'll have to look at my notes. I think it's Thursday night.
Okay, so I'll save my holiday wishes and all until then. But just looking forward to the bowl game, Christmas, and the basketball game tomorrow night. That win over South Carolina got me fired up. So hopefully keep the positive momentum rolling.
All right. In fact, we have a Pirate preview tomorrow with I'm looking at the schedule now, and that's the Coastal Carolina High Point will have a Pirate preview tomorrow. Wednesday, we have the High Point overtime, and then we have Thursday as our Christmas show, and then, of course, Monday, as we talked about, will be the Overtime Sports Bar show, and that'll be our bowl show live from Birmingham. Here's what he said, by the way. I will wait for the reveal because I know he wants to keep the contract with the university. He said, but I will say, we'll love it. Okay, Justin.
Okay. Good deal.
That's we don't want to get him in trouble. I appreciate you, Justin, for being a huge supporter of the show and a thankless job. Those guys work their tails off to get the equipment. I can't imagine having to be responsible for all that stuff. Not only to mention the managers and all the people behind the scenes and the drivers of the truck that Justin and his family have. I mean, it's a lot. So a lot of responsibility. And one of these days, Kyle, we're going to go on the road with them, right?
18 wheels and a dozen roses.
He said he will. Yeah. And by the way, disappointed. We made the whole show. And you said that you were going to ask Mark Meadows.
Well, I didn't ask him, but I'll ask you about Dave. Can you paint me a Birmingham? There you go.
It's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait, guys. It's going to be so much fun. And again, on the top of the screen, if you're listening, it's Team Boneyard. And that's what we were talking about earlier about creating NIL opportunities for student athletes. So make sure you guys check that out. And Kyle, I know we've got a lot of great sponsors like L&K Custom Homes, right? With Kevin Walker.
Yeah, L&K Custom Homes, Kevin KK Walker, great pirate. There in the Triad area. If you need a house built, give KK a call. 336-688-8461 is the number to call. And get yourself a house built. Maybe you need to expand. Maybe you need to add on a room. Kevin can help you out.
No doubt. And by the way, I went to Porky's Backyard Barbecue to pick up those great toys. Thanks to everybody, including your great dad who came out. I love Frankie. Your dad is so cool.
Yeah, I don't know about the cool part, but he's a great guy.
I think he's cool. He was funny. He wanted to give old Kyle a hard time. He said 14-7 is what I pick.
Well, that's fine with me, as long as we win 14-7, fun. I don't think it's going to happen, but 14-7 would be shocking, but I take it.
Yeah, well, I think it's going to be a lot more than that. But anyway, Porky's Backyard Barbecue. We appreciate Mark and Terry Holiday. In fact, tonight, hey, Kyle, I had it because I knew I was coming on the show. I had the meatloaf tonight.
Nice.
I had, let's see, what else? Stewed apples and collards.
There you go. That's a good dinner.
Really good, really good food. So I appreciate the support of the program for them. And
are we just going to share what we have for dinner, or are you just telling me that because it's from Porky's?
No, it's from Porky's.
Okay, I had a chicken quesadilla and some black beans. If you were interested.
Justin said, by the way, see y'all down there. Catch me at Gus's Fried Chicken or Dreamland Barbecue.
Dreamland, is that in Birmingham? I was thinking that was in Tuscaloosa.
But that's a legendary place. I've actually heard of Dreamland Barbecue.
Oh yeah, it's legendary. But I was thinking that was in Tuscaloosa. Maybe there is a Birmingham location. That white they do an Alabama white sauce. I don't know if you've ever had it. It's a mayonnaise-based barbecue sauce. A lot of people put a little horseradish in it, and it goes really good on brisket.
I love brisket.
So try that Alabama white sauce while you're down there.
All right. And finally, last but not least, our good friends at pgxgloves.com. And I know, Kyle, baseball season's around the corner. Our good friends that love golf, they've got just about everything at pgxgloves.com, right?
If you've got two hands, they've got gloves for you. Even if you got one hand, they got a glove for you. You can order two, just use one. pgxgloves.com. Get yourself some custom-made gloves for yourself, for your kids. Maybe you play golf, maybe your kids play baseball, football, whatever. Go to pgsgloves.com, put in promo code ECU at checkout, save yourself 25%. And it's Pirate-supported Pirates.
That's right. Mark Minikazi played third base during the Randy Mazie era of Pirate baseball. So, and speaking of which, one more thing before we get out of here. If you're wanting to have season tickets, the Jungle is what they have left, and that's not a bad thing. The Jungle is an awesome thing. But call Coleman Spain, call the ticket office tomorrow, 1-800-DIAL-ECU. You can do that business hours Monday through Friday, or anytime at ECUPirates.com. And order your bowl tickets while you're doing that at the same time. That will be fantastic. All right, I want to thank our great guest tonight, Mark Meadows, Executive Director of the TicketSmarter Birmingham Bowl. Thank you, Kyle. Appreciate you, buddy, for all that you do for the show. And we hope you feel better very, very soon. And then Bubba Rosenbaum, thanks, dude. I know you had a lot going on. He was behind the scenes tonight producing and all that he does for us. Until next time, we'll be back on Thursday night, our Christmas show. You've been watching and listening to The Sports Objective. Good night, everybody, and go Pirates.
I'm a pirate down in my soul, and I don't back down, not at all. Find out when the cannons explode, from the sidelines down to the post. Put it down like not even close, all out to my last whistle blow. From the flag with the soul and car bones. Everybody stand up, get your hands up, let the team know that we got they back. This is our house, this is our town, our time, Breaker 19, copy that. Everybody in the stands go bananas, scream loud, but they don't hold back. Every foot, every yard, every first down, every touchdown.